freertos kernel is free, so don't worry about that. You can use it in your commercial applications, no problem. Okay, no need to give any royalty to freertos.org. You can use in your commercial applications, okay, without even asking freertos, and no need to give any royalty when your application sells. It's based on GNU GPL license, and you should make open your code changes made to freertos kernel. Okay, so as per GNU licensing, if you make any customization or if you make any code changes to the freertos kernel, okay, that means those files given to you by freertos.org, then you have to adhere to the GNU GPL license, and you should make those code changes open. You need not to open source your applications written using freertos API. Okay, so for example, say you have an application like a fire control system, and you wrote a nice application which using a freertos APIs which runs on freertos kernel. Okay, and you need not to open source that application to your customers. Open only freertos kernel, so if you have made any changes to that. So otherwise you need not to open source your applications written using freertos APIs. So does it pass any safety standard? No, it doesn't. freertos is not designed to meet any safety standard. Okay, so that's why there is no question of passing any safety standard. Is it safe to use freertos in safety critical applications? Of course not, because it has not passed any safety standard and it is not designed to meet safety critical applications requirement. So that's why there is no question of using freertos in safety critical applications. Does freertos.org provide any legal protection on your application or on your product? No, it doesn't. So if someone steals your application, then that is your headache, and freertos will not give you any protection on that. Does freertos.org provides any technical supports? No, it doesn't. Since it is free, so it is your headache to solve the problem which you encountered freertos. So freertos.org regularly fixes the bug which is reported, but it will not give you any technical support during your product development. So there is one more licensing of freertos, that's commercial licensing. Now if you want legal protection, technical support during your product development, and also if you want to ensure meeting safety critical requirements, then there is a commercial licensing is available from freertos.org. So let's explore about freertos commercial licensing. The freertos comes with another two flavors, okay, which is based on commercial licensing. The first one is freertos. freertos is a derivative version of freertos that has been analyzed, documented, and tested to meet the stringent requirements of the IEC 61508 safety standard. So it's basically, this actually documents all the safety related standards. So if you are interested, you can, it's available on the web, you can go and read that document. This RTOS is audited frequently to verify IEC 61508 SIL3 conformance. So basically RTOS is used for safety critical applications, and it is constantly audited to check whether it meets all the conformance tests described by this documentation. Okay, so hence freertos is fully safe to use in your safety critical applications. But it is not free because it is available under commercial licensing, because you have to pay some amount of money to get this source code. And the next one is OpenRTOS. OpenRTOS is a commercially licensed version of freertos. Okay, The OpenRTOS license does not contain any references to GPL. That means they have dropped the conditions they mentioned in FreeRTOS. If you are using OpenRTOS, then you need not to open your kernel changes, that is FreeRTOS kernel related changes to your customers. And OpenRTOS also doesn't meet any safety standards because it has not audited for this standard conformance test. Okay, so that's why. So the OpenRTOS also is not recommended to use in safety related applications, but you have to pay some amount of money to obtain this source code. So because this is based on commercial licensing and they have dropped all the references to GPL. Okay, this table I have copied from the freertos.org. So this actually summarizes all the feature comparison of different kinds of licensing. So is FreeRTOS free? Okay, so yes, it's absolutely free, but the OpenRTOS is not free because this is based on GPL. This is based on commercial licensing. Okay, here there are some conditions related to source code, and here there are no conditions at all, but you have to pay some money. Can I use it in a commercial applications? Okay, so both FreeRTOS and OpenRTOS you can use in your commercial applications, no problem. You need not to take any permission from freertos.org. Is it royalty free? Yes. So whenever your product sells, you need not to give any royalty to the freertos.org. Is a warranty provided? So no. So there is no support or no warranty given for the FreeRTOS, which is under open source license. Okay, so it's your headache to use it or not, but there is a constant warranty and support is provided in the case of OpenRTOS. Okay, because it is under commercial license that you have paid something to the freertos.org. Can I receive professional technical support? No, there is no technical support under FreeRTOS, but you will get a good technical support in case of OpenRTOS. Okay, so usually industry may go for OpenRTOS because whenever you encounter a problem, you can write to freertos.org guys and they will help you to resolve the issue. There is no legal protection on open source license, but there is a IP infringement protection provided under OpenRTOS. So do I have to open source my application code that makes use of FreeRTOS services? Okay, you need not to open source your FreeRTOS application that uses FreeRTOS services. Okay, do I have to open source my changes to the RTOS kernel? But if you make any changes to the RTOS kernel, then in case of FreeRTOS, which is under open source license, you have to make it open. Okay, so in case of OpenRTOS, no, you need not to. Do I have to document that my product uses FreeRTOS? Yes, if you distribute source code. Okay, so if you distribute your source code, you have to mention that your product uses FreeRTOS. So do I have to offer to provide the FreeRTOS code to users of my application? Yes, if you distribute source code in the case of FreeRTOS, which is under open source license, and no if you are using OpenRTOS, which is under commercial licensing. In the case of FreeRTOS, when your users or customers are using your FreeRTOS application, you need not to give them FreeRTOS source code. Okay, you need not to offer to provide the FreeRTOS source code, but you have to offer them FreeRTOS code if you make any changes to the FreeRTOS kernel. But in the case of OpenRTOS, you need not to offer FreeRTOS source code at all. So in the next lecture, let's explore about FreeRTOS API interface.